Alrighty guys, welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are all having a great and amazing day today. I wanted to jump on and kind of just chat with everyone and really talk about kind of like the top stocks to buy. There's been a lot of opportunity lately with some stocks. So I want to jump on and talk about it. So the first one that I wanted to look at here is Palantir. Palantir brings in a lot of money. They're a software and data company, and they've pretty much fallen from about $28 all the way down to about $9 a share. And you guys can see recently we've seen even more where it's fell from pretty much 11 all the way down to about $9. So for me, right now, Palantir carries definitely a lot of potential, but still some risk involved. The reason why is because they make most of their money by government contracts. So given that right now the government's not spending kind of like they used to, Palantir has fallen a little bit, especially on this last earnings. But looking at it, if we go to the 10-minute chart, you'll notice kind of pretty much just how big this fall was. Before we had this nice solid upward trend, the stock kind of slowly climbing up and up and up. Then it pretty much went from 11 all the way down to about 9, fell all the way down, to $9.01. So you guys can see this is just straight because of the earnings. They beat their revenue up. Their revenue's up year over year about 26%, which is good. They're only down on their earnings per share and the future guidance. That's kind of what's going on with this. This one carries potential high risk, high reward play for sure. Another one here is Google. Now, Google, we all know what they do. They bring in a ton of money. And if we go out and we look at this chart, you'll notice that this thing has fallen from $150 all the way down to $116 a share. And a lot of people like to say, well, Carter, it's because of their earnings. And I completely understand, right? Anytime we have earnings that aren't the greatest, we're going to have sell-off. And that's kind of what we've seen, from pretty much the first time in Google's history, they've had a slowdown. So I definitely think right now Google is going to be a little more volatile, but you can't beat this sell-off. And looking back 2, 5, 10 years, we're going to be wishing we would have bought more at Google. I'm telling you right now, Google is a great stock. Once this thing recovers, it's going to be just like it's always been, a nice solid upward trend. We've just seen some volatility, and the reason why we've had so much more sell-off is just because of the general market plus the earnings that aren't the greatest. So for me, Google is going to be one of the top picks that I'm continuing to buy. I just think it carries a lot of potential and very, very little downside. The company has hundreds of billions of dollars in cash, and you just can't beat that. If they ever go through a hard time, they have a lot more cash to continue to invest, pay their employees, and you just don't have to worry about the company closing tomorrow. Definitely one to keep an eye on for sure. Another one here is Tesla. I know I always talk about it, but look at this thing. It's fallen from pretty much $1,200 all the way down to $850 right now. The stock is $850 a share. Okay. And right now they released decent earnings. But the thing is they've had a lot of shutdowns. Their supply chain, delivery, everything is decent on that aspect. But I just think that right now the average analyst price target for the stock is about $950. So right now, if that's just say I'm wrong about this thing hitting $1,200 again, if that just say these analysts are right, that's still $100 return per share off your Tesla investment. You can't beat that. On top of that, these earnings, right? This one here was fantastic. They almost beat their earnings by $1 billion. This one here, not as much. They missed it by $162 million, but they beat it on their earnings per share. I just think that right now, good strategy for Tesla. Anytime it falls under $800, try to buy as much as you can of it and just continue to dollar cost average this. A good strategy that I use for Tesla is anytime it falls about 6 to 10%, I double what I normally will put in. I just think it carries a lot of potential. Tesla is more than just an electric car manufacturer. That's what I always try to tell people. They're heavily invested into software. They are pretty much a data company. They track all of the miles you drive. They're pretty much the leader of autonomous driving. They have Tesla Solar. They're just more than just like Ford Motor Company, and that's what people don't understand. So you can't beat the price. It's gotten some sell-off, and we've had a little rise up here. And even when they announced this earnings, you'll notice that the stock didn't even slow down. It actually popped up on that. So people are buying this stock. People want this company. I just think that this is a fantastic one to invest in here. But what is going on, Kevin? Welcome to the stream. I have all the chat up on my other screen, so if you guys want to ask questions, I can see it. It's just I always feel like I'm covering a lot up when I have the chat up and then the charts. I want to start going live a lot more, so we'll try to go live as much as we can. But yeah, so Tesla for me, good stock that I'm looking at this month here. Another one here is Apple, AAPL. Just another staple stock you don't have to worry about. And we've gotten huge rebounds. Stock continues to bring in beating expectations and beating earnings per share. And on top of that, you're going to be getting growth. You're going to be getting dividends. You're going to be absolutely killing it. So you cannot beat that as well. And from the highs, it's only sold off from 82 to 164. So a good thing that I would do, set some alerts at like 150, 160, all these price points. So when it sells off, you can just get notified, buy it at a little bit more of a comfortable price range. But you can't beat this stock. Honestly, company very similar to Google, has $160 billion in cash. And on top of that, it's not like the thing about Google's revenue and all that other stuff slowed down. Look at this thing. If we go ahead and we look at it, you'll notice huge. The company brought in $82.96 billion, a profit margin of about 25%, and is pretty much just hoarding cash, right? They continue to invest, innovate, and all that good stuff. So that's always, Apple's always just a fantastic stock to buy, especially going through, a little bit more of a volatile time. So it's always a good investment there as well. Another staple one that I want to look at, I haven't looked at it today, Amazon. I know Amazon has been very, very volatile, and on their last earnings, it actually caused the stock to go from 120 to about 134. It hit highs almost at 144, which is pretty decent for a stock, honestly, that is the leader of the, of e-commerce, right? We all can agree Amazon is the leader of e-commerce. But right now, the issue that Amazon faces is when people want to buy things online, Amazon is not the only store, right? Looking back in 2017, 2018, even a little bit now, but not as much, right? Amazon pretty much full steam ahead, no competition. Right now, there's Walmart Plus. There's a whole bunch of other e-commerce sites. And believe it or not, Amazon is slowly falling. And I know that's a hard thing to say for a company that I'm sure we all use. It's just there's so much more competition. Very similar to Netflix. Netflix can only hit a certain number of people. That's just the way it is. And that's what we've kind of established with Amazon. Netflix, I'm not even going to look at. I don't even care about that stock, to be honest with you. But there's just a lot of options right now, a lot of opportunity. And if you guys want to look at a stock, we can pull it up here. Another one, NIO, and pretty much the Tesla of China. You guys will notice this thing has been getting obliterated, going from about $66 all the way down to about $18. We did have this nice resistant breakout, as you guys can see. Pretty much it established that trend line, broke above it, then it went from $19 all the way to $23 and has slowly stair-stepping its way back down. Earnings, still doing pretty decent on their earnings. I definitely think that this one here, high risk, high reward, I'm not looking at it as much to buy. But we also, how did I forget? HKD, this thing is going bananas. I haven't checked it today. HKD, this company, guys, has pretty much gone up, I think 32,000%. Like, pretty much if you would have bought this stock you could have bought it at lows at $7.80 and sold it for $2,500 a share. So looking at this thing, right, very, very similar. Well, let's see if we can change our display so we can, I think it's on the other one. But what I wanted to do is kind of just show you guys just how much this has gone up. I'm not sure if you guys can tell. But HKD, guys, this reminds me, I know people like to say, oh, it's not GameStop, it's not GameStop. Hey, buddy, a stock pretty much did a short squeeze going from $7 to $2,500 a share. People are trying to buy this thing thinking it's going to pop up again. Realistically, right now, this thing is an absolute sinking ship. It hit the highs. It's slowly stair-stepping its way down. Don't buy this. Don't buy it. It's not going to be worth it. You're going to be getting terrible, terrible returns. The only way I would even look at buying this thing is if we got some sort of fundamental catalyst. 1. 2, the stock fell to extreme lows. I would buy in with maybe 0.5% of my portfolio for a short-term swing trade. But for a long-term outlook, don't even buy this thing. It's not worth it. You're going to lose money. You know, just like we saw with GameStop, GME, where the stock pretty much, lately it's been doing pretty decent. But looking at it, where the stock went from, $5 all the way up to $120, back down to $10. The volatility on this thing is terrible. You're gonna have a very, very hard time getting in at peak lows and peak highs. Don't even worry about it. What I would recommend doing, if you guys are looking to find stocks, go on Finvest, just like this. We'll do it. Let's do it. We'll go on Finvest, go to the screener, close out of this, and what you're going to want to do is just find stocks with potential. And you might be saying, oh, that seems easy. That's all you do. You look for a stock that has an upward trend, sold off down to support. That is it. That is the best short-term swing trade strategy. And for all of you that said you can't do it, I've grown a $100 account in the past pretty much month into a $210 account. So I doubled what I made. I doubled my account just from doing this. So pretty much what you do, stocks under 20, 30 bucks, we'll go under 20 for now. What you want to do, go to average volume, go over 500,000. Then on top of that, you want to go to the pattern, or you can actually go to the relative volume as well. Relative volume is pretty much just the overall demand for the stock. So we'll go over 0.5 or 0.75. The higher up you go, the more volatile the stocks get. So we'll go over 0.5 right now. Then you want to go pattern. You want an upward trend, right? You want a stock that is up. So I always kind of start with channel up strong, then I'll go channel up, then horizontal support and resistance. So the thing about this, right? Oh, other one. The thing about this one here, guys, is if you don't find a stock that you like, guess what? You don't have to buy it. No one's making you buy these stocks. So something like this is kind of almost like the complete opposite what we look for. DCPH here, you'll notice it has that upward trend, but what we would have liked is obviously to try to get in on that trend line, right, at 12 bucks. And I know you might say, well, yeah, no duh. But that's kind of what we look for. A stock that has an upward trend, sold off down to support level. Let's pull the other one up and see if that one's a little better. So upward trend, what we would like to see is this thing curl back down to like 13 or 12.50 so we can get in there right on some old resistance to see if that would hold as support. And for something like that, you could just throw in, set an alert, and you guys will be good. The next thing, if you have a hard time finding them there, go to horizontal support and resistance, or you can go channel up. We'll try channel up and see if that works. So what you look for, something like AMCR looks pretty interesting here. The reason why is because we have this upward trend. It's sold off down to that trend line, which is that blue line here. And so there's a possible trade from 12.40, setting your stops pretty much below 12. So you're risking 40 cents for this thing to come up to about 13.20, risking about 40 cents to possibly make just a hair over 70. So, almost a 2-to-1 risk and reward, which is decent. Ideally, in a perfect world, we would take our first profit here, continue to hold, move our stop loss up so we're still in profit, and see if this thing can hold the $14. That would be the trade, right? That would be the move. So something like this, let's pull it up on the chart, analyze it. and see this whole live stream is kind of going to other directions. I want to do it top 10 video on some of the stocks I want to buy. Now we're looking at swing trades. I don't know what I'm doing here. But AMCR, let's pull it up. So AMCR, boom, boom, boom. So something we look for, stock upward trend. Boom, check one. Next thing, obviously, that's check some of these. So you get a dividend and their past earnings is decent, right? Just from looking at this, beating expectations, you can't beat that. All right, so the next thing here is we got to mark out resistance. Does have some resistance here, boom. Does have some support, it looks like about right here, right? But the support, honestly, is that trend line. So let's delete this and go ahead and draw that out. So it does look like it's something like that. All right, so in a perfect world, what you're going to do is you're going to hop in. Actually, this doesn't look like a bad play. So you hop in right now at 12.40, set your stops below 12. You're risking 40 cents. You're risking 40 cents to possibly have this thing come up to about $13. The reason I like that is right now it's kind of hugging and using this 90 moving average line as some sort of support. So there is a play here. There is. Maybe we'll take a trade on this thing. Not much, but possibly. So in a perfect world, this thing pops up to $13. You take about 80%, get some profit, and just hold a couple of shares to see if this thing can squeeze to $13, $14. That would be the ideal trade, to be honest with you. Nice upward trend, what we look for. Good earnings, dividends. Okay, this would be a decent play. If I was going to give this 1 out of 10, it probably would be falling at a 7.5 right now. 7.5 for some sort of potential here. But this is kind of what we do, right? To find stocks, you have to go through and do the work, analyze, and just find opportunity. That's how you're going to make it. And if you're looking for long-term plays, very, very simple. Invest 40% into the S&P 500. Invest, another 20% into very, very stable stocks. Home Depot, Coca-Cola, Costco, Apple, all of that good stuff. Put another 5% into growth stocks, Tesla, all of those ones along that. Then another 5% into more higher growth stocks. A little more risk, a little more reward. So that's kind of what I do. That's kind of my go-to strategies, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And obviously, we'll do a full breakdown, I'm sure, in one of these videos coming up. But that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button right now. Hit it right now, because it really helps me out when you guys do that. You guys have no idea. And I'm so thankful for 20,000 subscribers. I never thought I would have that much, which is awesome. And I know it's only 4 of you guys listening. So I just want to show my appreciation to you guys. But that is it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. If you guys are just now tuning in, go ahead and start it all from scratch. We talk about top 10 stock or top couple of stocks to buy this month. We talk about how to find swing trades. And that is it, guys. So we'll see you guys later. Remember to stay happy, guys. Stay positive and stay safe.